Hey everybody, I'm David, and this is going to be my review for the new Disney live-action film Maleficent. First I'm going to talk about the pros, then I'm going to talk about the negatives, so let's begin. The first thing I want to talk about is Angelina Jolie's performance as Maleficent in this film. I think she is incredible in this movie. I think she is the highlight of this movie. If there's anything really great about this movie, it's her performance as this character of Maleficent, and I think she did a really good job. I also really enjoyed Sharlto Copley as King Stefan. If some of you remember, he was the guy who played the villain in Elysium with Matt Damon. He also played the main character in District 9, which was a great movie. If you haven't seen that one, I totally recommend to check that out. And he also played, I forgot the character's name, he was in the A-Team. Something else I really enjoyed about the movie was the three fairies. I thought they were used nicely. They weren't used effectively, but they were mostly good for the comedic timing. I thought they had some funny moments that were pretty fun for the film. I also enjoyed Sam Riley as Diaval. He was the character that started off as a crow, and Maleficent turned him into a human. And what was cool about it, though, about him, was that she could turn him into any animal she wanted. So even though Maleficent had a crow in the original animated movie of Sleeping Beauty, what was cool about this was that she could, there's one moment she turns him into a wolf, and what was useful about that is that I guess the writers and the director and the producers didn't want to have Maleficent turn into a dragon towards the end of the film like she does in the animated movie. So what was cool about that was that she turned him into the dragon for her. And I thought that was actually pretty clever on the writer's part to do something like that for this movie. And it helped kept the movie okay, I'm not going to say grounded, because this movie is not grounded in reality at all. This is pure fantasy and pure fun for this film. I also thought the visual and the art direction was really great in this movie. This movie is really beautiful to look at. If you want to look at special effects and art, and if you really appreciate that stuff, you'll love what you're looking at on the big screen here. I'm pretty sure on Blu-ray it will look even better. So I'm curious to see how the movie will look on Blu-ray if you're if you're looking at the movie for an art, which is what all film is. It's art. So on that level, it's all really good. Some of the negative things for me were things like I felt the movie was a little bit too kiddish at times. It is a kids movie, but I felt they could have toned it down a little bit on the animals they tried making them all cutesy and all that, and for me personally, I was hoping the movie would be something a little bit more different, and tried to do it a more, I don't want to say adult, but a darker take on the fairy tale. Now there are moments of darkness in this movie, like the King Stefan, played by Sharlto Copley. He was pretty twisted in this movie, but there were times where you could feel that they were going in that cartoony, cheesy romantic part that, a lot of guys like myself can't really get into that much. And I'm sure there's some women that can't get into that stuff too much either, but this is really aimed at younger girls who want to go, this is clearly aimed towards that audience, and not really someone my age. So that's all I can really say on that. I also didn't like the way Prince Philip was introduced. In the story of Sleeping Beauty, everyone knows the prince was supposed to be there, but I think he only had 2 or 3 scenes in this entire movie. It was so short and so useless that you could have easily written the prince out, I think, of this movie, because it felt like he was unnecessary, and he was only there because, well, he was there in the original story of Sleeping Beauty, and that's pretty much that. Speaking of the prince, they had this twist toward the end of the film where Maleficent, it's her kiss that actually wakes up Sleeping Beauty. So there is a Frozen, literally, it's like Frozen. They try that twist from Frozen where it's not supposed to be the prince, it's supposed to be someone else that is true love. But I mean, it's okay, but if we didn't see it in Frozen, I think it would have been more effective here. But because we already seen that twist in Frozen, I feel, and it was another Disney movie. It was another Disney movie that did this exact twist. I'll let it slide a little bit though, because Frozen was about two sisters, and this one was more about someone who wanted vengeance on an ex-boyfriend and tried to go after his daughter instead. And but she grew attached to his daughter. So it was kind of different in that aspect. So I'll probably let that slide. This is probably more of a nitpick, really, because that didn't really bother me too much. I also didn't like in the final battle where Maleficent got her wings back. I know it was supposed to be symbolic and all that, but it had me rolling my eyes, and I thought it was unnecessary, and they didn't need to give her back her wings because I felt Maleficent could have kicked ass without them, but it should have had her, letting go and just having her, show that she could be an independent woman without her wings, but whatever. That's the way they decided to take it. At the end of the day, I know I'm sounding like I'm probably hating the movie, but I didn't hate it. I didn't love it either, though. I gave the movie a 6 out of 10, so I enjoyed it to an extent. I almost kind of gave it gave it a 7, but the ending really kind of like lost itself for me, so I had to give it a 6 and take out that it's a pretty, maybe not even a 6.5, it's a 6 for me. One thing that I did think towards the end of the movie, it would be cool if Disney decided to do their own cinematic universe. They have Star Wars, and we all know they're doing a cinematic universe with them. They have Marvel. We all know they're doing a cinematic universe with them. We know all these superhero properties want to do a cinematic universe. All the other superhero, like Warner Brothers, wants to do it now, all because of Marvel. And now that Disney owns Marvel, they're building their own thing there. And it got me thinking, what if Disney decides to do a cinematic universe using their Disney villains? And I thought that would be so cool if they did do something like that along the lines. If they got like Maleficent and Jafar and Gaston and the evil queen from Snow White and Cruella de Vil, and brought them all together in one movie and have them unite for some mission. I don't know. I thought that would be funny if they do decide to go in that route. Disney, if you want to do that, contact me. It's my idea right now. So if you want to do it, contact me. You have my number, you have my Twitter information, iCrazyDavy. Follow me on Twitter. And yeah, we'll talk about it, I have plans. I just plan things. Okay, so I'm going to end this review right here before it gets too silly, just like your movie. And yeah, if I had to decide whether to see Maleficent or not, I'd say rent it. It was cool visually, and Angelina Jolie is breathtaking, but I don't think it's enough to really get you to go to the theater and see it. But that's just me. Maybe some people, unless you have really young daughters that want to go see the movie, take them. They'll for sure enjoy it, I think. I don't think boys will enjoy it as much. Maybe. I don't know. You know what? I'm not gonna judge anybody that brings their sons to see this movie. I mean, the first movie I ever saw was The Little Mermaid, and I still enjoy that movie now as an adult. So, yeah, sure, take your sons. That's it.